Hello, this is QED Denial bringing you another shoutcast. This is Game 2 of Jenkins in the Southeast Asia Clan Cup. This was an all-kill format. So Jenkins actually won the first round against a Diamond Terror, TXXX. And we're bringing him to the second round here, which I believe is a ZVZ against a Masters opponent. vKAnut is it, I believe? QED Jenkins and vKAnut. Not 100% sure. I believe the clan's VK, so it might be Nut, or if it's VKN, it might be Ut. Either way, it's a ZVZ. Jenkins did a wonderful effort taking out a Diamond Terror, outplaying him in all senses of the word. Now just bring up their, not units killed, their names, and the production tab, and we'll go for a very interesting ZVZ. ZVZs are always interesting. It'll be interesting to see if Jenkins tries what he does in often a lot of the clan matches, where he drops the early spine crawler and tries to hide on their opponent's base, and knowing he's going against a higher level opponent, he might not do that, as it's a strategy that most masters probably will not fall for. But this is cross spawn, so there's plenty of run distance for any Zergling one base all-ins. So I wouldn't be surprised if they both try and drop the cheeky early hatch and try and get the defender's advantage. As it stands though, it's pretty much the same. Jenkins though is droning up slightly slower than a Nut. I'm just going to call him Nut. I think VK is the clan, so I'm going to call him Nut. So he's slightly behind Nut in supply. The extractor going up for Nut now. But it's all pretty much the same for ZVZ. Although even those little precious seconds do make a difference. Jenkins though is dropping a spawning pool before extractor, so he'll have his Zerglings out sooner, but won't have the gas to possibly make Zergling speed unless he drops the gas soon. The spawning pool's up for Nut shortly after, so it's all pretty similar, the only difference being the extractor going up later for Jenkins. The extractor will still be done in time to start mining, but he won't have speed as quickly if you go down to the wire timings. The scouting for both have been done. Actually, I don't think Nut sent a scout out yet. He's just scouting with overlords, which is kind of strange. You'd want to send one drone in there to make sure he's not going for a cheeky early hatch, or cheeky early six pull or something like that. As it stands though, they're both playing pretty standard. They're dropping their pulls before they drop their hatches, obviously wanting to have those Zerglings out. Nut will probably start building a couple of Zerglings now to scout with, and they hold off any early pressure. He's got overlords out there, you can see that none are coming. I said there comes the speed. Jenkins is slightly behind for speed. Let's see if he's actually mining his gas. He's mining his gas, so he's mining the gas to get the speed. He's going to be slightly behind due to the fact that he dropped that gas a bit later. He also seems to be saving up, possibly towards dropping down that hatchery, as he isn't building lings yet. Instead he's got only two lings coming out, and speed hasn't even been started yet. But I believe he has the gas to do it, and he hasn't started yet. He needs to start it soon though, or he could lose to a very early pressure. Here comes speed, and a hatchery from Nut. So Nut is expanding, so I'm not expecting too much of attack now from Nut. Jenkins is going to see this coming. He's seen a lot of Zerglings. Those Zerglings ran straight back when they all ran past that overlord. I wouldn't be surprised if he drops the spine crawl, knowing he's a bit behind in the Zerglings, and speed will hit for Nut before his. No, he's just going to build some Zerglings to defend with. It would be nice though to see him. Unfortunately, this pressure from Nut has stopped him getting his hatchery out. So Nut's going to pull ahead in the resources very quickly here. He's using the Queen nicely here, Jenkins, to help add extra DPS. Mean that this push will mean nothing. That DPS from the Queen saved him, so they both lost 2 Zerglings each, suffered some damage. Nut's Zerglings are a lot lower health than Jenkins, so in a good engagement Jenkins should be able to clean up, and he is. And he's chasing down this one ling, but speed has hits, this ling can get in. Oh, nearly got the surround, he did, he got rid of that ling. So Jenkins is going to head out across map now and find out what's going on over here. His overlord's not going to get there in time to really find out. But he's dropped his hatch, he's taken the initiative to drop his hatch. Because he didn't see any more pressure, he saw no reason not to. Nut's going to reply with dropping his spine crawler and only building a couple more Zerglings. He doesn't want to overcommit here. He's got his 6 Zerglings up, so it'll be a 6 versus 6 match. At the moment, he's building a couple more to keep him ahead, and dropping a spine crawler. Now they're going to meet on the ramp here. It should be a win for a Nut, unless no, some nice micro from Lucky Micro from Jenkins. No, Nut's 2 extra Zerglings have popped now, and this Zergling's just trying to run around and get a scout. Unfortunately, he scouted nothing. He did see there was no drones yet on the hatchery, but drones are now being built and supplied there now. He also didn't see a spine crawler at all, so he knows that possibly more drones are incoming. 2 overlords here, kissing. And here we go. Zergling's back out from Nut. He wants to find out what's going on. Jenkins has dropped his Roach Warren slightly before Nut. So that'll be handy. Some roaches out will be handy, and since a Nut isn't committing to a lot of units, those roaches could cause the damage. But a Nut has droned up pretty hard. If we look at the actual units tab, 29-26, so not that much of a lead as I thought. But Jenkins will start slipping behind unless he keeps up with his production, because a Nut seems to be quite greedy at the moment and is enjoying getting more and more drones. Now the Roach Warren's nearly done for Jenkins, so he's probably going to keep cutting drones now and probably throw some roaches out for defense, or I'd prefer him to keep droning. Actually, he's got that Roach Warren now. He can get those roaches out if he sees more roaches coming. Oh, Lair coming from Nut, so he's going to Lair, so he could go early Mutilus here, and he has his evolution chamber down, but still no Roach Warren. And here comes the Roach Warren now. So it's very interesting from the Nut. It's quite dangerous too. If he manages to get that Lair up and mine enough gas to start getting those Mutilus out, it could cause a lot of problems for Jenkins. As it stands though, Jenkins has now got an Overseer out here to probably do a scout fly through the whole base without being shot down by any Queens. Missile attacks for Nut has started, so it'll give his roaches quite the advantage when they do meet. His Zerglings are going to get in. They are going to get in, and they're going to see that there's a Roach Warren up and nothing much else. Roach Warren up. There's only 3 gases up, and this gas isn't even mining it. He needs to if he wants to start getting some serious roaches out. He's going for the roach speed, which will definitely come in handy. But he really needs that needs to keep up the +1. He hasn't got an evolution chamber down yet though, which he really needs to keep up with this. Hydralis Den from Nut as well. He's going all out on this 2 base here. It's almost like a 2 base all-in build. Getting a roach, getting a Hydralis, but he's still droning. He's only built a few roaches so far and a couple of spine crawlers, and spent most of his resources into building more drones, which is good, as it means that he can probably expand to a 3rd and drone that up pretty quick and still have the minerals up to build up a defense. Jenkins is starting to fall behind this game. His macro just isn't quite keeping up. A lot of drones just then came in, which brings him back to an even drone count. But his tech is so far behind that he needs to either do some damage now before the units come out for Nut, or give up. The supplies are so far ahead. Like, he just needs to push in and do some kind of damage. There's so much tech here for Nut that once his 3rd comes up, and if it doesn't get taken down by Jenkins, once the 3rd comes up, he's going to have a Ling Roach Hydra army. It's going to be way too overpowering for Jenkins. Look at all that. +1's going to finish before Jenkins and could cause a lot of damage. And he's got a 2nd evolution chamber building now, so he can keep these upgrades going ad nauseum. Burrow though for Jenkins is a nice move. Burrow could cause a lot of problems, and he's getting pathogens to get those infestors out, which could cause a tighter battle. But I would still like... He's expanded his 3rd. I would rather him to try and do a bit of pressure now, but there's just too many roaches. Too many roaches, too well defended. He should have run his Lings in there and tried to stop this hatchery coming up. Quick Ling by, only like 4 or 5. Come in here and try and prevent this hatchery coming up. They could have ran past these roaches, probably only losing 1 or 2, and try and slow this hatchery coming up. As it stands though, he's let this hatchery spawn with no issue. It'll just be droned up way too quickly, and this force is going to be so strong and so hard for Jenkins to stop. Burrow isn't completed yet, but he has got some infestors coming out, and 5 more roaches. We look at the unit count. We're looking at even drones. A few more, heaps more roaches for Nut than there is for Jenkins. And Nut's just droned heavily behind this. He's now ahead by 10 drones. 10 drones saturated base, and he's going to prevent this 3rd coming up from Jenkins. Jenkins in some serious trouble. He's tried to do some kind of counter-attack and trap these roaches. He's got some Lings at the front, which soaked up a fair bit of damage. But unfortunately, Nut has just got too many roaches, and they're just destroying Jenkins. Jenkins needs to fall back. He's reinforcing with some more roaches now. Nice fungal, catching some of those roaches out and causing some damage. Fungals, unfortunately, are not that effective against roaches. Once the Hydralis come part of Nut's army, the fungals are great against Hydralis, but against roaches they are not that effective. This count's falling down. Jenkins is in trouble. Now he's defending well. He's bringing everything back, which is what he needs to do. He can't keep meeting this army out there in the middle with small packs of roaches. He needs to get everything gathered together and push out again. This base will go down, unfortunately, for Jenkins. So let's leave him behind. Maybe get a bit of damage from that. Thankfully, little broodlings managed to take out one roach. They managed to take out 1 roach, which is handy. They're going to push in here now. The roach count's even up a little bit, which looks good for Jenkins. Because a couple of fungals fungals on those already dying roaches has definitely tilt the favour back in Jenkins. He's going to push that back for now. But he's now behind. It's 3 base against 2. There is so many roaches coming. I like the use of the burrow though to keep rehealing his roaches. But unless he needs to do something drastic here, and he's just got nothing coming. Nothing coming drastic, and this force moving in the middle up now is just going to be overwhelmingly strong. There's just so many roaches. He's got the overseer to prevent the burrow being noticed, which is unfortunate for Jenkins because a nice burrow would help protect so many things. These roaches are just carving up Jenkins' roaches. Nice use of nice use of the Terran Marines there, the infested Marines, taking out the overseer and managing to drive back the roaches. It's actually a supply book Nut, but Nut's ahead by 50 supply. About 50 supply, so he's not too worried. Burrow again to heal those roaches. Jenkins now is scratching at straws. He's managed to drop down that 3rd again, but he can't do anything out of it. He can't transfer drones. He can't produce drones. He's setting up one roach here to spot that, and this one roach is going to continue to hit this. Take his time. He's even melee attacking it. Not even spraying with acid. Just melee attack. A few misrallied roaches there by Nut. But he's moving in too far here. Jenkins has got nothing to stop that. A few fungals might help, but there's just so many roaches from Nut. Upgraded roaches are just doing so much damage. It's 1-1 versus 1-0. So the extra armor for Nut helping withstand more damage from Jenkins. And those infestors just aren't doing as much damage. If there's more lings in this army, or if the Hydras had bothered being made, could have caused more damage. But I do not like this infestors versus roaches. And the fungals are great, but they just don't do enough damage against roaches. And when you're down a base, what can you do? And this roach here is just gradually hacking away at this base. Taking his time, hit after hit. Look, it's melee attack from the roaches here. While this massive push comes in again, Jenkins has burrowed his infestors to try and keep them alive. There is an overseer up here though, so they will get spotted. But he's managed to force this army back again now, and he's pushing out. He burrowed his infestors to heal him up. But there's just 3 base economies. It's going to be too much. I'm surprised that Nut hasn't dropped a spire or anything and just completely overran this, but he's just droning. He's droned up again now. His drone count should be way above 65 to 51. He's going nice. He's got 34. He's got double the amount of roaches. Only thing keeping Jenkins in this is the infestors. But they're going to fall. It's just going to be too much soon. Once these roaches are gone, there's nothing to buff for the infestors, and he does as many fungals as he likes. But there's just not enough energy either. He's got no fungals left at the moment. Energy builds up takes so long to build up for those infestors. Now they're moving in. It's going to have to be GG from Jenkins, unfortunately. It was a nice showing. ZVZ is always a volatile matchup, and the main key there was the fact he didn't deny this 3rd. Even a small ling run by. Lings are worth nothing. Send 8 lings up there. Just deny it, or force him to have to defend it. Just slow the 3rd down so that your 3rd can get up and running in time. Unfortunately, Jenkins did not. And this roach here, so close to nearly actually taking that one out. It was a very nice showing by Jenkins. Going down to a Masters play in vKAnut, only barely. The main key there was the fact that this 3rd got up and running and was no pressure whatsoever. Jenkins saw it there. He dropped his 3rd, but his 3rd was too delayed. He needed to use those lings he had running around for a little run by, sitting here, stand behind here, attack, then send the roaches on a little merry-go-round. Even if he lost those lings, the mineral loss would have been far more beneficial, because in that time, that hatchery would have got up. In the end, those lings weren't going to do much against those roaches. They were just a waste of space anyway on the ramp here when he attacked. If he could have got this 3rd up and then droned it up behind it, while VK was defending his 3rd from being taken down or prevented, would have been much more beneficial. As it stood though, VK ended up just getting that 3rd up, having 3 base economy and mass producing roaches continually. Again with the infestors, I'm not sure if I like them in ZVZ. They're good if you see Mutalists. I suppose they do work against roaches if you've got an even roach count and you're ahead by a couple of infestors. But when the roaches outnumber you already, the fungals just don't do enough damage to keep the to even it up for you. Unless you can get some really good fungals, maybe even putting his infestor up here might have been handy. Since all the action was happening on this ramp here, an infestor up here could see all that was happening down there and probably do a lot of damage. I mean, you did have that overseer flying around though, which probably would have prevented that. As it stands, I'm not no expert, but I really would have liked to see Jenkins just do some damage to that 3rd. But good game from Jenkins there. He showed what QED has to offer there, taking out a diamond player and giving a Masters player a bit of pressure and a bit of run for his money. You can see that Nut wasn't going to take Jenkins for granted after taking out his diamond player. So hopefully we'll see QED Jenkins leave Platinum soon, head to Diamond, and even head to Master soon and be our very first QED official Grandmaster player. That would be nice to see. Anyway, this is QED Denial, and I'm out.